It's the end of traditional late-night TV, and everyone knows it. Now, a new study proves the cause. It's not streaming. It's not the internet. It's not a changing demographic. It's that Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert went completely and totally radically nuts. Allowed by the networks as they sunset their careers, the sacrifice they wanted on the way out, without a doubt, was to take the late-night genre down the drain as they shuffle away from the spotlight.
It's been a hard year. We've had some lows. We've had some highs for me.
Hello, folks. Hello, friends. Welcome back yet again. What a joy, what a pleasure to endeavor together to explain entertainment and keep you ahead of the culture curve. Folks, we called it. We told you this was going to happen. Late night is going away, but not totally, not truly. It's traditional late night. And we'll show you why things are going to be A-OK and all right in ways that Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert just can't stand. First of all, Jimmy Kimmel here with the price of reason. We're gonna show you this because, man, he can't make it any longer. He's crying, he's weeping, he's sobbing. And folks, the reason. We're going to give it to you, the New York Post. Gabrielle Fahmy and Rich Calder. Late night takes hard left with 7,000 Trump jokes and gags targeting conservatives up 92%. There's a statistic this doesn't even begin to cover. And I'm going to show you what happened in the ratings. First, though, as promised, here's Jimmy Kimmel. Here he is crying at the end of the year. This guy cries more than anybody you've ever seen. Here's Jimmy.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us here at our home in beautiful Hollywood, California for what is our final show of the year. And this has been a strange year. It's been a hard year. We've had some lows. We've had some highs for me. Maybe more than any year of my life, but on behalf of all of us, I'm crying already. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you lied about a national tragedy, and you should have been canceled. And Hollywood trade agencies, the Hollywood trade agencies, they're not watching out for their members. AI is going to come and just wipe them all out, which I'm not happy about. I don't want that to happen, and I think live performances will be great. But the Hollywood trade agencies, facing existential threat, said, no, we don't care about any of that stuff. We don't care about whether or not we're going to be around in 5 more years. We want Jimmy Kimmel on the air. Do it now, Disney. And Disney put Jimmy Kimmel back on the air, even after the line about a national tragedy. All right, so what else happened in that course of time? Well, we told you months ago that this would make Jimmy Kimmel uncancelable. And he is, right? And by the way, he got a 1-year extension. You don't give anybody a 1-year extension unless that's the end of the year or end of the run. Now, maybe I could be wrong. Maybe his viewership will go way, way, way up. It's not right now, and I'll show you how far down it is in just a second. But maybe who knows? But why do you give a pro athlete a 1-year extension? Because it's the end, right? Jimmy Kimmel got a 1-year extension. So he's not going to exit at the same time as Stephen Colbert, which could have been seen as disrespectful. There you go. Disney gave him a 1 year. Here's the story. Late night is more lefty than ever, out of the New York Post. With 92% of jokes targeting the right, and liberal guests outnumbering conservatives almost 100-1, according to new data shared exclusively with the Post. Now, let me just tell you something, okay? Because this doesn't give away how radical this is. And just understand, folks, 100-1 is cartoon level silly, right? This is so extreme that we've reached a cartoon level of propaganda. North Korea has more political discourse, right? More dissenting opinion happens in North Korea than late night TV in the United States. 100-1. And wait till you see how we got those numbers. It'll make it worse. When it says 92% of the jokes are targeting the right and liberal, when 92% of jokes are targeting the right, that doesn't mean that the other 8% are targeting the left. It just means that of the jokes that are made, 92% of the jokes are politically charged jokes at the right's expense. Now, I would argue that's actually not at the right's expense at all because it's at late night's expense, it's the network's expense. These guys are going down in flames for this. So what are the other 8%? They just might be random silly jokes about Hollywood. 92% of the jokes are political and aimed in one direction. The other 8% are all other knock-knock, chicken across the road jokes, whatever, 8%. Jokes targeting conservatives rose 10% in 2025 from the year before, according to the watchdog Newsbusters, who went through 818 episodes this year. It found that across the Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Fallon, Seth Meyers, and Daily Show universe, 197 liberal guests appeared and only 2 conservative ones. Who were those guests? Let's take a guess, folks. Greg Gutfeld, one of them. Greg Gutfeld, who is the leader in late night, and not by a little. We'll talk about that in just a second, because late night's not going to die. Greg Gutfeld is going to continue on with late night, and he's wiping out the networks, really and truly. Fox News, because they're doing what late night used to be, where Gutfeld's just on there riffing with some friends like Johnny Carson did. Fox News, a news channel on cable, is beating the networks now. Really. Greg Gutfeld appeared for 10 minutes for a non-political chat with Jimmy Fallon. That's one. Number 2, an economist who appeared on The Daily Show to talk about tariffs. An economist who is center-right. An economist that you've never heard of, Orrin Cass. Love you, Orrin, but you're not T Swift, right? That's how. I mean, when I say North Korea's got more political dissent, well, it's at least even. You might say pro too far. It's at least even, because there's no dissent really happening on late night, period, whatsoever. The shocking data comes at the end of a tumultuous year for late night comedy, marked by Jimmy Kimmel being temporarily yanked off the air in September after saying the MAGA gang tried scoring political points off of the savage public ending of Mr. Kirk. What's the ramification of all this, folks? I told you I'd show you this. What's the ramification? What happens when you go 100% radical in late night? What happens when you steal a genre that was part of the cultural fabric of society? What happens when you steal that and you turn it into something that even MS Now would be ashamed of? Well, Brian Burns has this out of AOL. Fox News has edged out NBC in primetime ratings battle. Gutfeld reigns over late night. Now, is this just saying that Gutfeld is edging out Jimmy Fallon? No. Fox News, a cable channel, that you have to have cable to get the channel, is edging out an entire network that is pumped all across America. You don't have to have anything but bunny ears to pick it up. Fox News is beating it. That is, it should be almost impossible. Fox News Channel has maintained its lead over NBC in weekday primetime viewership for 2025, according to the latest Nielsen data released this week. Holy cow. Figures from Nielsen Big Data Plus panel show that year-to-date, Fox News is averaging almost 3.2 million weekday primetime viewers, keeping it ahead of NBC's 3.1. For the week of December 1st, Fox News secured 85 of the top 100 telecasts across all of cable television, posting an average of 2.1 million viewers in primetime and 1.4 million across the total day. The network's late-night offering continues to disrupt the traditional broadcast hierarchy. Gutfeld averaged 2.6 million viewers for the week, outperforming stalwarts of the genre. The show, that's Gutfeld, beat CBS's The Late Show with Stephen Colbert at 2.2 million, ABC's Jimmy Kimmel Live at 1.5 million, and NBC's The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon with 1.3 million. Gutfeld also secured the top spot in the key 25 to 54 demographic with 278,000 views. Goes on to talk about The Five, Jesse Waters, etc. Two things to note here, ladies and gentlemen. Two things, and this is why you come to this channel. This is why you watch these videos. It's why you should be subscribed. I hope you are, because we got more coming to you. We predicted back when Jimmy Kimmel did what he did, that he would be back down to where he was in rapid order. Jimmy Kimmel, as you can see in this article, is averaging 1.5 million views. That is where he was. That's where we all thought it's not sustainable. You can't have that low number of viewership and have 100 staffers and the kind of cost that it takes to put on a Jimmy Fallon show, Jimmy Kimmel show. 1.5 million viewers. He's back down where he was. All that bump, all that. Everybody's saying on the left, oh, Jimmy Kimmel is the new voice of the generation. Everybody pay attention to Jimmy. None of it worked. None of it worked. He's right back where he was. He's down in the basement again. He's down in the basement. And what has happened as a result of these networks doing what they've done? They have allowed a cable news channel to beat them, to drum them, because they put their thumb on the American people and said, screw you. You're going to watch Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert 100-to-1 ratio, right? We're going to make North Korea look like a fair and balanced place with the way that we handle late night, which is not supposed to be at all about politics. Late night is supposed to be about fun and frivolry and talking to celebrities. Turns out it still is. This is lastnighton.com. Latest late show ratings prove that it's all about the star. Now, Alexandria Ingham, who writes this, does not explicitly say what I'm going to tell you. And I want you to go read this article, okay? Latest late show ratings prove all about star power. That's what the name of the article is. I'm just going to skim it real quick, okay? Here's the gist of it. It matters, one, what was on before you in late night for your ratings, and two, who do you have on that night? Like that's the entire kit and caboodle when it comes to what your ratings are going to be. And the lesson from that, folks, if you go read this article, the lesson that's not explicitly stated but implicitly must be true is that people aren't tuning in for Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert. They're not tuning in for the 100-to-1. They're not tuning in for the 92% of all jokes aimed in a politically charged way at the right. That's not why they're tuning in. When they tune in, and seldomly they do, they tune in to see who's on. What star is there? And if there is no star, then there's no star, because Colbert and Kimmel are stars no more. The only other way that they get ratings is if they respond to a national tragedy in a bad way, or if they come on after something that's popular, like Dancing with the Stars, something like that. And that's why you've got people like Christian Todt over at HollywoodandToto.com saying 2025, the year late night TV collapsed. Colbert canceled, Kimmel benched, Gutfeld stayed the course. I'll read just a little bit of this. I love this. Many tried to walk in Johnny Carson's shoes. Few succeeded. Some, like Chevy Chase, called it quits after 6 brutal weeks. Others, like Arsenio Hall, burned brightly before calling it a late-night career. Still, the format endured for decades with a few lucky souls carving out crowds big enough to keep them employed. Colbert, Stewart, Kimmel, Myers, Marr, Oliver. Why? They made money for starters, and perhaps more importantly, they pushed the right ideology in their shows. Now, as Hollywood continues to contract on several fronts, late-night shows are not as sustainable as in the past. Colbert found out the hard way in July. CBS announced his gig will end in May of 2026. Even more dramatic, no one is set to replace him. The show ends when he ends. The shocking part, reports said the show was costing CBS roughly $40 million a year. Why would any business take that kind of fiscal drubbing? That came on the heels of The Tonight Show shrinking from 5 nights a week to 4. Late Night with Seth Meyers losing his house band. And several late-nighters losing their gigs, period. Samantha Bee, gone. Desus and Mero, gone. Trevor Noah, gone. James Corden, gone. Amber Ruffin, gone. That, plus news that late-night TV revenues have plunged in recent years, suggested Jimmy Kimmel's prediction might come true faster than he anticipated. And of course, Kimmel got a single-year extension, which allows Disney to not have him retire, quote-unquote, at the same time as Colbert, which would be a PR black eye. So there you go, folks. Meanwhile, Gutfeld is winning. Gutfeld is winning so much at this point, just doing what late night was. And you can like him, you can dislike him. You know, you can think he's funny, he's not funny. He's doing what Carson did to a large extent. And as a result of that strategy, and not doing what the networks did, Gutfeld is not only beating them in late night, which he is, he's doing so well that Fox News has now eclipsed NBC, a network, in primetime ratings based off of this. Now, I just want to say this as we get ready to wrap. Oftentimes, we will go back in time to talk about, what ratings should be. And these articles we'll talk about, these articles get excited. Jimmy Kimmel got 3 million views following the latest big show that led into him, right? Dancing with the Stars. If you go back and you look at the ratings for Letterman, for Leno, for Carson, folks, we'd be talking about 10 to 12 million people. For Carson, we might be talking about 20 million people at a time when the population was much smaller. And you can say, well, bro, there's lots of distractions now. Lots of distractions and lots of channels. There were 3 channels back then. Come on now. To some extent, that's true. To some extent, that is true. But these guys, Kimmel and Colbert especially, Fallon's down to 4 nights a week, so it's a little bit different. Kimmel and Colbert, how many people do you think work on their shows versus how many worked on Johnny Carson's show? I'm going to bet it's like double or triple. How much are the production values? Like, what all goes into these things? A lot. You can't do that on 2 million and less views. You think Gutfeld has the same kind of production crew that these guys have? No. And his production crew is working on a news channel. I don't think they have to follow some of the same rules that Kimmel and Colbert have with the union stuff. That's why the networks are saying enough. And they're doing it in the best PR way they can. They're sunsetting these guys in the best way they know how, which is say, Colbert, you're gone this year. Kimmel, you'll go the next year. But they're out. They're out. And the reason they're out is because they have nobody watching them relatively. They have dropped late night from being something that 10 to 15 million people tuned into every single night to now a couple of millions do. They didn't just destroy late night, they destroyed their network primetime ratings such that cable news channels are beating them. They made themselves irrelevant while declaring themselves the kings. They believe that they dominate the attention spans of Americans. Meanwhile, Americans aren't tuning in and haven't and won't. And that's why they're being shown the door. But their ego and their hubris won't allow them to adjust, won't allow them to change, won't allow them to evolve into something that people would actually tune into. They've just become screeds, yelling and screaming about the Orange Man, 100-1 on the guests, and 92% of all of their jokes now politically charged at the right. And that's why late night is finding out it's the end of the night for the genre. Maybe not. Gutfeld and Fallon will keep going. But the main shows and this being a genre that every network wants to be involved in, gone and sacrificed at the altar of ideology that honestly would make the Kim family jealous. These people are crazy. All right, folks, click the like button, share, subscribe, drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts about all of this. Are you still tuning in at all to late night? Have you? Will you? Let us know. And folks, until the next time, we have the honor, the pleasure, and the privilege of spending time together. Keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
What on earth could I ask for Christmas that's like a guarantee from Santa? Oh, I know!
Yeah, Wilton, we need to talk. You're likely not going to get anything from Santa because you've not really been, good.
Well, don't be so sure, my good fellow.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm gonna go find Slade and wish him a happy Merry Christmas holidays. Okay.
Bye. All right, let's see what he asked for. Coal and a gifted WDW Pro membership. That little troll does have a heart. A diseased, twisted, tiny, sinful heart, but a heart nonetheless. Well, Merry Christmas, everyone!